Let's go to another of the big stories of the day. The junior doctors not showing up at work today in public hospitals around the country. Their industrial action. They're protesting at what they say are unsafe rosters. We have looked at their rosters at length previously on Checkpoint. Ibrahim Hassan is a medical registrar at Auckland University. He says he and his colleagues are exhausted by the current roster, specifically a 12-day stretch in which they work Monday to Sunday, then work through until Friday. 3 of the shifts in the 12 days are 14 hours long. Dr. Hassan spent the day with his family at Auckland's Mission Bay today and told our reporter Alex Ashton that the job isn't what he thought it would be.
I mean, when I started, this wasn't a huge problem for me because I was still young, I was still able to work long hours, not complaining. But when you get older and you have exams to study to, you have a family to care about, then your social time become less and less and become of a concern for all of us.
Are you hopeful or optimistic that your concerns are going to be taken seriously here? Because there's a big difference in what the two sides are saying.
I think, yeah, as myself and other colleagues who are union members, we are taking it very seriously. So far we didn't feel from the DHBs that they are taking it that serious, but we, as I understand, we are, ready, or we are happy to go for another strike and keep on going until we get what our demands for safer hours. As you know, a patients only who suffer from doctor's mistake. And if we allow this, or if we keep going on these unsafer hours, it's likelihood that a bigger mistake will happen in the future, and this is what we would like actually to avoid.
With the strike on, what's your plan for the next couple of days?
I'll catch up with my family and my kids, and it will be a family. I have some non-clinical work to do, but at the end I just decided I'm just going to enjoy my time with my family, and I'm not going to do any other work apart from just enjoying my time with my family to compensate for previous times that I couldn't actually see them or spend time with them. Because if I'm doing a long day, I go to work while they are sleeping, then I come back while they are sleeping, and it comes to 2 or 3 days that I didn't see my kids who lives with me at the same house.
Are the hours enough to make you leave the profession?
Yeah, it is a very difficult question to answer. We are aiming that, or myself, that in 3 or 4 years I'll become a specialist, then I would never have to do these hours again. And as I heard from others who are very close to finish, actually they are counting these long days or these long nights. I have only 1 night to go, then I finish with my training, I'll be a specialist, I'll never come back to this. I think this is what's keeping us from not leaving the job.
Dr. Ibrahim Hassan, who's on strike from Auckland DHB, Auckland Hospital, speaking to Alex Ashton down at the play park at Mission Bay with his rather delightful-looking children. In Christchurch, a picket line was formed across the road from the hospital on the edge of Hagley Park. We took a live view down there, and over a chorus line of supportive car horns, we met a resident doctor named Charlotte Dacre.
So thanks for having me on the show. I'm a junior doctor working at Christchurch Public Hospital. And we're striking today to try and enforce a safer roster with a stop in 7-day continuous night shifts and an end to the 12-day stretch of continuous work.
So Charlotte, you do both of those things, do you, during the course of say a month, for example? You might get 7 consecutive nights, you might get 12 consecutive days. Do you have those shifts in your roster?
Absolutely, yeah. So the 12-day run of shifts is obviously starts on a Monday, works you through the Monday to Friday working week. You'll do the weekend. 2 of those shifts over the weekend will be 15-hour days, starting at 8 and finishing at 11, and you'll continue to work the following Monday to Friday, and you get to Saturday and have that time off. And those weekend shifts might come around approximately about once a month, and the 7 night shifts, starting on a Friday night and finishing on the following Friday morning, back to work on the following Monday, will occur approximately every 3 months.
Charlotte, can we talk about the 12 days? When you do 12 days straight, with 2 very long days in the middle of the 12, how do you feel at the end? Are you as focused? Are you as present as you would hope?
In all perfect honesty, and it's a frightening fact, by the time you've hit a 15-hour day, whether it be in the middle of a 12-day run or just a 15-hour day in itself, is pretty exhausting, especially when there are lives on the line. It sounds dramatic, but not to over-dramatise. That we're having to make important decisions. We're having to prescribe drugs that in the wrong doses could kill or cause serious harm. And for me, for instance, by the time 8 o'clock comes, I'm really struggling to focus. I'm having to dip into that caffeine bar, stuff I don't like to touch, and I'm having to really pull to focus and make sure I'm not making mistakes and double, triple checking myself, as are my colleagues.
So Charlotte, this isn't about money. If the DHBs came back to you now and said, look, we can't change the rosters, but we can pay you more, would you be prepared to accept that, or is it really about reducing the number of days in a row you are working?
Well, the reality is none of us have come into medicine for financial gain. We'd have done something different. We'd have gone and worked in the city, or become a professional footballer. But we're not in medicine for financial gain. We're in it for altruism, for caring, for looking after people, for helping people out of a sticky fix. So the offer of more money is not really the point here. Paid adequately for a doctor. We're not in it for the money, we're in it for the people, and we'd like to do our best for our patients, and we can do better for our patients if we're sharp and fresh.
Charlotte Doker from the picket line at Hagley Park across the road from Christchurch Hospital.